Dashiell's City Press presents Sean O'Farrell Investigations.
You listen up, O'Farrell. You quit looking for who killed that girl. You don't, the next body they find is gonna be yours.
This is the Powell Mason line. Please step aboard. Next stop, Union Square.
Okay, you're such a smart guy, O'Farrell. You tell me. What's to prevent me from having my two boys here smack you around until I get what I want, huh?
I'm sorry, you were saying something? It's time for you to wise up, O'Farrell. This is police business. This is no place for a two-bit gumshoe like you. Keep your nose out of it. You follow?
I'm Bernstein, the new deputy DA. Bernstein don't like private eyes. Bernstein don't like O'Farrell. Do I look stupid to you?
Now, Bernstein, why would I go ahead and state the obvious? You're small potatoes, O'Farrell. One phone call from me and you'll be digging your own grave in the desert. Now, what do you think about that? Not that much.
You listen up good, O'Farrell. I'm your friend. You listen to me. You get on that ferry, and you're a dead man.
Welcome to the unabridged version of The Sausalito Ferry to Hell, a Sean O'Farrell mystery. Written and read for you by Mark J. McCracken. The streets were dark with something more than night. Raymond Chandler. San Francisco, 1938. Prologue. The office was very long but narrow, just like the building. The walls were all done in walnut with matching wood floors. There was floor-to-ceiling windows at the end of the office. Giovanni's desk was the size of a battleship, had a leather chair with a good 2 foot taller than he was, and there was 2 leather wingback chairs in front of the desk. On the floor in front of Giovanni was an electrician or a repairman. He had a box of tools that were spread out on the floor, and he was working on an electrical outlet on the floor. I assumed that this outlet was to plug in a desk lamp for the desk. The man was working away and paying no attention. In the right corner of the room was one of Giovanni's apes, who was sitting on a kitchen chair with his arms crossed. He may have been dead. It was kind of hard to tell. When Giovanni got up from his chair, the desk was so big and so tall that the top of the desk was maybe 6 inches higher than his belt. Giovanni looked like a little kid standing behind the big desk. "Hey, you, repair guy, get the hell out of here." The man stood to his feet and straightened his overalls. "Don't you want me to finish the job, mister?" "Yeah, I want you to finish it. I just don't want you to finish it now. Beat it. Take a coffee break. Come back in a half an hour." "Okay, mister. Anything you say. You want me to take the tools with me?" "No, it's all right. Just leave the tools." I looked over my left shoulder and the door closed behind me. I should have paid a little closer attention to the ape in the corner. The gunsel wasn't asleep. He fisted me right in my left kidney. I was on the floor before I knew it hit me. I could hear Giovanni laughing. "Hey, Donnie, let's get this meeting started on the right foot. Let's help Mr. O'Farrell be a little more cooperative and a little less mouthy today. Give me a hand, will you?" Donnie gave me a hand all right. He brought his full weight of his jumbo-sized elephant feet on my right hand. I knew for sure that nothing was broken, but I felt it. I let out a scream. Giovanni was laughing even more. "I'm sorry, O'Farrell. I didn't hear what you said. Do you want to speak a little louder, please? What's the matter, Gumshoe? Nothing smart to say?" My head was spinning, but I did my best to collect myself before the gorilla came in for another round of punishment. "Hey, Donnie, do me a favor. Help Mr. O'Farrell here. Break his right arm. I think he'll be a little more cooperative that way." Giovanni continued to laugh. The ape went over to the corner where his kitchen chair was. He brought out a baseball bat. I was laying on the floor moments away from having broken ribs, broken leg, and who knew what else. My coat was buttoned, and I was unable to reach for a .45. I was about to be beaten to death, and then I thought of my old man. There wasn't anything my father couldn't fix. He tinkered with cars. He could repair the ovens at the bakery. There wasn't anything at the house that would get broken that he couldn't put back together. In our garage, there was a long oak toolbox, open at the top. It always had a variety of tools in it. "Take care of your tools, son, and they'll work right for you when you need 'em." I'm laying there on the floor thinking about what my old man said. I'm getting ready to pay Molly Malone a visit in the emergency room When I took a look over my left hand at the variety of tools that were laying on the floor next to the toolbox, right within reach of my left hand was a beautiful hickory-hammered small sledgehammer or maul. There's just something about a smooth hickory-handled tool. It just nestles in your hand like it belongs there. The balance was perfect. The minute I picked it up, I knew it wouldn't fail me at the task at hand. I was laying flat on my back and the ape was standing over me. With a hammer in hand, I rolled to my right on my shoulder. I extended my arm as I rolled, and I brought the full weight of my body and arms and the momentum of the hammer to the ball on the top of Giovanni's bodyguard's right foot. The impact was incredible. I felt the hammer and heard the bones crush underneath it. At the point of impact, I could feel the hammer almost flatten against the wood floor. It crushed the bodyguard's foot. He fell to his knees and was writhing in pain. I heard the baseball bat bounce once or twice. He was screaming at the top of his lungs when I jumped to my feet. I gave the hammer a full swing and hit him on the side of his ear. He fell unconscious to the floor like a wet sack of potatoes. I didn't take long to admire my handiwork. Giovanni was looking over the desk. He was so short he couldn't see what was going on. He got to see me knock the ape out cold. He stepped to his left and started opening the top left-hand drawer of his desk. It didn't take me a moment to spring into action. I stepped around the desk, and with my left knee, I slammed the door shut on Giovanni's hand. Now it was his turn to scream bloody murder. I brought a right elbow to the side of Giovanni's head. His body slacked, and I released my knee in the drawer. It pushed open, and he fell into his oversized leather office chair. I reached into the drawer and pulled out a .38 Police Special, opened the cylinder, and emptied the shells onto the floor. I threw the .38 across the room. To my surprise, I never heard the door open or the receptionist come in. I guess maybe she was used to this kind of activity in Giovanni's office. Giovanni was massaging his hand where it slammed on the drawer. I pulled a .45 from my shoulder holster, and I was sitting on the corner of Giovanni's desk facing him. I took the sledgehammer and threw it on Giovanni's desk. It bounced and skipped a couple of times and sent his office lamp crashing to the floor. "Okay, Giovanni, this is your meeting. What do you want to discuss?" I asked with a smirk. "One thing I'll say for Giovanni, he doesn't give up. Let me tell you something, O'Farrell. If it were up to me, I'd have shot you dead when you walked in the office. But it's not up to me anymore. It's up to Chicago. The big boys in Chicago are calling the shots now." "Calling the shots on what, Giovanni? You're not making any sense. What do you want from me?" I demanded. "Okay, O'Farrell, here's the juice. And try to keep up with the rest of the kids, all right? I got a call from Chicago. Frank Nitti informed me that our accountant out here, G named Kaepernick, has been skimming. Not just a little either. For the last 2 weeks, Frank's bookkeepers came out here to review the books, and he found out that Bernie's been trimming a little off the top and putting it in his own pocket." That was interesting information. However, I did my best not to look like I was concerned about it. "That's spiffy news, Giovanni. What the hell does that have to do with me?" "I know you're working for Kaepernick's ex-wife. The word's out you're trying to recover a car and some jewelry. Is that right?" "Sorry, Al, I don't discuss information about my clients with anyone. If you want to end up in the San Francisco Bay, just keep talking that way, keyhole peeper." I put the .45 right up to his nose. "In case you haven't noticed, Medium Al, I'm the one holding the gun here." "All right, O'Farrell. This is what we want. Find Kaepernick and then clue us in. We'll take care of the rest. And if you're a good boy, your client might get the car and the jewels. There might even be some payback bonus for you, if you know what I mean." I knew the last thing on this planet I wanted to do was hunt down Bernie Kaepernick for Giovanni and then feed the accountant so that he could kill him. "What are you going to do about his wife?" I asked. "We'll take care of the blonde at the same time. All you have to do, O'Farrell, is finger him for us. You send our guys looking for him, it'll tip him off that we're wise. You've been pestering him for weeks now. Once you find out where he is, you give us the heads up, and we'll take care of business. Capiche?" My head was spinning, all this new information around me. I had to figure once and for all how I was going to solve all these different problems. First order of business was not to antagonize Giovanni any more than I already had, so I played along. "All right, Giovanni, I'll round up the accountant and his bimbo for you, but I don't want you breathing down my neck. I'll find them when I find them. Kaepernick is a big fish, and I don't want him wiggling off the hook. You tell your people to stay away from me, and I'll deliver the goods." Giovanni was nodding his head. "All right, O'Farrell, you got a deal. But let's be clear. You string me along, and you'll be fish food. I don't like you to begin with. Chicago's put a lot of heat under my ass to deliver Kaepernick. Nitti has provided me with a lot of resources to fix this problem. Failure is not an option. You fail me, and you're as good as dead. Think it over, Gumshoe." All right, Giovanni, I better go. I put the .45 in my holster, and I stepped over the unconscious body of Giovanni's garbage man. I opened the door and stepped out. The receptionist smiled.
Did your meeting go well, sir? She asked.
Yes, ma'am. We hammered out a solution, I said.